minutes, so it's, you make up. Then you spoke 15 minutes. 5 to 7. We're saving the previous speech.
Long.
Danny spoke for a full 10 minutes. It's going to take a longer time. Judges, awake? Okay.
Thank you very much, Gertrude Mangella, for your dedicated work that has brought us to this point. Distinguished delegates and guests, I would like to thank the Secretary General for inviting me to be a part of this important United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women. This is truly a celebration of the contributions women make in every aspect of life. In the home, on the job, as workers and leaders. It is also a coming together, much the way women come together every day in every country. We come together in fields and factories, in village markets and supermarkets, in living rooms and boardrooms. Whether it is while playing with our children at the park, or washing clothes in a river, or taking a break at the office water cooler, we come together and talk about our aspirations and concerns. And time again, our talk turns to our children and our families. However different we may appear, there is far more that unites us than divides us. We share a common ground, and we are here to find a common future so that we may help bring new respect and dignity to women and girls all over the world. And in so doing that, to bring new strength and stability to families as well. By gathering here in Beijing, we are focusing world attention on issues that matter most in our lives, the lives of women and their families. Access to education, healthcare, jobs and credit, the chance to enjoy basic legal and human rights, and to be able to participate fully in the political lives of our countries. There are some who question the reason for this conference. Let them listen to the voices of women in their homes, neighborhoods, and workplaces. There are some who wonder whether the lives of women and girls matter to economic and political progress around the globe. Let them look at the women gathered here today. The homemakers and the nurses, the teachers and the lawyers, the policymakers and the women who run their own businesses. It is conferences like this that compel governments and peoples everywhere to look, listen, and face the world's most pressing problems. Wasn't it after the Women's Conference in Nairobi 10 years ago that the world started to focus for the first time on the crisis of domestic violence? What we are learning around the world is that if women are healthy and educated, their families will flourish. If women are free from violence, their families will flourish. If women get the chance to work as full and equal partners in society, their families will flourish. And when families flourish, societies do as well. That is why every man, every woman, and every child on this planet does have a stake in the discussion that takes place here. I have met with new mothers in Indonesia who come together regularly to discuss family planning, nutrition, and baby care. I have met with working parents in Denmark who talk about the comfort they feel in knowing that their children can be cared for in safe and nurturing after-school centers. I have met with women in South Africa who helped lead the struggle to end apartheid and are now helping to build a new democracy. I have met with the leading women of my own hemisphere who are working every day to promote literacy and better health care for children in their countries. I have met with women in India and Bangladesh who are taking out small loans to buy milk cows, rickshaws, or even thread in order to create a livelihood for themselves and their families. I have met with doctors and nurses in Belarus and Ukraine who are trying to keep children alive in the aftermath of Chernobyl. The great challenge of this conference is to give voice to women whose experiences go unnoticed, whose words go unheard. Women comprise of over half of the world's population, 70% of the world's poor, and 2/3 of those who are not taught how to read or write. We are the world's primary caretakers for most of the world's children and elderly. Yet, much of the work we do is not valued. Not by economists, not by historians, not by popular culture, and not by government leaders. Those of us who have the opportunity to be here have the responsibility to speak for those who cannot. As an American, I want to speak for those women in my own country. Women who are raising children on minimum wage. Women who can't afford child care or health care. Women who are affected by violence, some of that violence in their own homes. I want to speak up for women who are fighting for good schools, safe neighborhoods, clean air, and clean airwaves. For older women, some of them widows, who find that after raising their families, their life skills and experiences aren't valued in the marketplace anymore. For women who work all night as nurses, hotel clerks, or fast food chefs. And for women everywhere who simply just don't have the time to do everything they are called upon to do each and every day. Speaking to you today, I speak for them, just as each of us speaks for women around the world who are denied the right to go to school, or see a doctor, or own property, or have a say about the direction of their lives, simply because they are women. The truth is that most women work both inside and outside of their homes, usually by necessity. We need to understand that there is no one formula for how women should lead our lives. That is why we must respect the choices that each woman makes for herself and her family. Every woman deserves the chance to realize her own God-given potential. But we must recognize that women will not be able to gain their full dignity until their human rights are respected and protected. Let this conference be our and the world's call to action. Let us heed that call so that we can create a world in which women are treated with respect and dignity. Every boy and every girl is treated equally, lovingly, and caringly. And that every family has a hope for a strong and stable future. That is the work before you. That is the work before all of us who have a vision of the world we want to see for our children and our grandchildren. The time is now. We must move beyond rhetoric. We must move beyond the recognition of the problem to working together, to have the common efforts to build the common ground we hope to see. God's blessings on you, your work, and all who benefit from it. Godspeed, and thank you very much.
Okay, next speaker is Abhirami. We'll have to wait. Yeah. Such nice kids.
Your kids, it's warm. I need to connect it in the internet. Hi, everyone.
It's the Hyatt one. HRNB is the username, password is 100. Less